The parade chased me down the street. Ah!
Hey, Maniacs.
Hey, Maniacs. Welcome to Mystery Maniacs, a comedy recap podcast focused on mystery TV. Each week, we dig into an episode and talk about the murder, the mayhem, the loonies, and everything else we love. And this week, we are talking about Brokenwood Season 8, Episode 5, Good as Gold. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Mark. And you can let your kids listen to the podcast if you let them go to the creek, stream, river, and pan for gold.
Unsuccessfully for years.
Yes.
Or have a feud.
Decades.
A family feud.
Decades.
These people don't know where gold comes from.
No, they
Obviously. Before we dive into that, something that we've been waiting for a long time was finally released this week. The Thursday Murder Club movie.
Yes, on Netflix, the Thursday Murder Club movie.
Movie? Is it a murder movie?
It's a murder movie.
Based on Richard Osman's book of the same name, which I really liked. I've liked all of them in the series.
Yes.
It's got Pierce Brosnan, Helen Mirren, who else?
Ben Kingsley.
And the lady who was in A Midsummer and a Christie who said, "You do it in a straight." What is her name?
Celia Ermey.
Thank you. To me, she will forever be that woman who said the nasty things over the phone.
Yes. Midsummer familiar people would find that Tom Ellis, Celia, Paul Freeman, otherwise known as Belloc, Ruth Sheen, and Katie Brand are in this movie, as well as Midsummer's. Now, Katie Brand is interesting.
We've talked about Katie Brand before. She's not Joe Brand's daughter.
No, and she's not in the movie. She wrote the movie.
She did the screenplay for it.
Yes, she did.
She and Richard Osman are buddies, I think.
Okay.
Richard Osman, he who is, 7 feet tall?
Yes. Her and a woman named Suzanne Heathcote wrote it.
I think it was perfectly cast.
Yes.
We're not going to give anything away. We're going to spoil Brokenwood, but we are not going to spoil Thursday Murder Club. But just a little review, just to tell you whether you should watch it or not, which, don't listen to us. You should watch it if you want to, of course. As a version of the book, as a translation of the book for film, I give it 7 to 10.
It's rushed.
But as just a British movie with murders, 9 out of 10.
If we had seen that movie without knowing about the book, it would be all glowing. It's unfortunate that we read the book because I feel it would have been better as a series.
Yes.
Now, I also think...
But that's a common thing.
That Dame Helen Mirren doesn't do television series.
Yeah.
She does movies. And so that's why we have a movie and not a series.
But that's what makes it a good book, because there's a lot of plot. And they just couldn't fit it all into 2 hours. But they did fit in all the things about the characters that you really like if you've read the book, the setting. Like, those things are there. That's really important. Without those, it would have been awful.
There was a review about it where this individual said that the movie was as disappointing as a stale scone because it didn't understand aging. I'm like, this is the freshest take on aging I've seen in a while.
I'm old, but I'm not that old, so I don't know if it understands aging or not.
Yeah.
I liked the view of aging that it presents. I liked the way the book presents it. It's realistic without,
When I started
underselling.
reading the book, I said to Sarah, Richard Osman knows these people because they're very real people.
Yeah.
They're not, I'm a crotchety old person.
I will say Pierce Brosnan is gold.
He's just fantastic.
I mean, Helen Mirren's great, but that's what you expect from her.
Yeah.
I was surprised by Pierce Brosnan, and he was great.
There's a scene, and this is not giving anything away, where one of the characters comes to get Pierce Brosnan, who is in the pool doing his daily exercises.
Doing water aerobics.
Water aerobics with a number of old ladies. And this You have never seen happier old ladies to be in the pool with Pierce Brosnan, because you never hear anything about that guy other than he's the greatest, nicest person ever.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he was like the utmost gentleman in the pool.
Yeah.
And was like...
But very different from the last role we saw him in, which was that Tom Hardy show.
Yes.
What was that called? Mobland?
Mobland.
Where he is, cutthroat.
Yeah.
And Helen Mirren.
Helen Mirren is in that
Well,
also.
she's very different in that, too.
Why didn't they make it a series? Oh,
She
they
did
should've-
TV. She did a series
Yeah,
just recently. Yeah, that puts lie to what you said.
Yep,
Anyway,
I was wrong.
they made a movie because they made a movie.
It should have been a series.
But it's good.
Yeah.
It's well worth watching if you like British murder. And if you don't like British murder, why are you here?
Yeah.
Why are you listening to this? Is it an accident or something? Tracy Gray, otherwise known as Trudy from Brokenwood, posted some photos online of filming the next season of Brokenwood.
So I
Yay!
messaged her and said it was great to see that they're filming another season. She also posted a great video of the scene from season 11 where Frodo's dancing on the table at the trivia episode, and how they have one guy lying on the floor
Stabilizing
holding the table, and that there's this huge pile of foam that
Frodo can
fall into. It is excellent. But she also has new stuff, and I mentioned that to her because, you know, Tracy and I.
Yeah, you're best friends now.
Kind of. And she said, "Oh, I've been saving some pictures for you to send." I was like, okay. So she sent us 3 pictures. She sent us a close-up of the missing poster for the Kingswood. So in season 11, and this is not a spoiler.
When Mike's car gets stolen, they put posters up.
Yes, it's like a missing poster.
Yeah.
And we have a close-up of that, more than you ever see in the show.
Yeah.
And then she sent a couple of pictures from the bar. So the bar, like any bar, as we've mentioned before in Midsummer or any other show we've covered, they cannot show any actual liquor labels.
Right.
They can't show real beer taps. They can't show anything.
No
like
real
that.
brands.
No real brands. Mostly because, like, they don't have a deal with those brands.
Right.
Right. So every single bottle that you see in behind the bar has a
frog
different
and cheetah.
has a different label on it.
Yeah.
And she sent us a close up of 2 of them that she said we would enjoy.
Because she knows we're nerds for signs and posters
knows
and
us
labels.
so well. So the first one,
And we're going to post these pictures,
yeah,
right?
we'll post these pictures, is Woot and Fang, which is the finest name in Irish whiskey. And it has a stock picture of like a drawing of a bull's head and fine old Irish whiskey, distilled, blended, and bottled in
It sounds
Ireland.
very Irish.
Yeah. Woot and Fang. And I think this is probably a theme. All of them are somewhat either cat or reptile or amphibian related.
Really? For the
Yes.
frog and cheetah? No.
Yes, because the next one is Reptile Reserve Rum from the private distillery established in 1738. It has a big old snake on it.
Somebody spends a lot of time making those things, printing them out, peeling them off, sticking them on.
I think
That's a lot of work.
I think they do fantastic work.
And we appreciate their work.
We do indeed. So season 12 of Midsummer is filming. Season 12 of Brokenwood is filming right now. So we should probably get those maybe March, April,
Yeah.
sometime.
That's what I would guess, but
Yep.
who knows? Are you ready to talk about Brokenwood, Good as Gold?
Yes.
All right.
Originally aired the 25th of July, 2022. Directed by Carolyn Bell, no relation, Booth, and Sarah Kate Lynch. I have to think that the subtle subtext of misunderstanding of the intricacies of women is goofing in this episode. Considering it was written by a woman,
And directed by a woman.
directed by a woman. There's a code?
We are going to spoil it. So if you haven't watched this episode, stop right now. We're going to ruin it for you. It can be summarized pretty easily. It's the Hatfields and McCoys meets Romeo and Juliet and one amazingly horrible mother.
Plus the promotion of Canadian musicians.
Well, yeah. Brokenwood's good with the music.
Yes.
But that's it.
Yeah.
That is really it. Forbidden love between two feuding families and a mother who clearly cannot control herself. You shoved me, I'm going to kill you. The end.
Like, I've been shoved in my life.
Did you shoot somebody for it?
I didn't immediately look for and pick up a 22.
Like,
well, and
she's out of control.
So the mother is the killer. She's doing this,
Polly,
to get a gold nugget, so to feed her daughter's gambling habit, basically. And yet her friend, and we'll talk about this when we get to it, her friend has a much better response to her gambling addiction than her mother does.
Yeah, but she gets killed, so. It's two farms, right? And Jane, the woman who gets killed, she's a Ferguson, and the other family are the Hollands.
Yes.
And the Ferguson farm is beautiful. The house is beautiful.
Yep.
But did you take a look at the porch? It's very strange.
Yeah.
Right next to the front door are a couple of pitchforks and a topiary that's clearly hiding something.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's covering up, but it is the most misshapen, weird topiary I have ever seen.
I know exactly what it's covering up.
What?
The dad, because the dad shows up. Jock shows up.
Once.
Mumbles something, kind of.
Gets taken back to the house and never seen again.
Never seen again.
So you think that's Jock standing on the porch covered in ivy, looking like a topiary? It's just weird. And of course, Todd Taylor, who is recurring like a bad penny, works at the Ferguson farm.
Okay, again, though Todd looks a bit like a lazy person in this episode, he's getting paid to fish.
Yeah.
He has a million jobs.
Yeah, but he doesn't do any of them with his whole ass. It's all half-assed.
He's all 100% half-assed. He says that the other sister's gorse pockets, which is like Scrooge.
Prickly pockets.
Yeah.
Like it hurts to put your hand in.
Yeah.
Like we used to say that my dad's wallet creaked when you opened it and bats flew out. Because he was so tight with
You
cash.
were lucky. You saw the wallet.
Rarely. I got a new view of Chalmers, and I'm not crazy about it.
Why?
Okay, first of all, he's got on his typical short sleeve button-up shirt.
Yes.
But did you notice what's different about it?
It has bands on the sleeves.
And polka dots all over it.
Oh, I did not know that.
The body of the shirt's white with blue polka dots, and the little sleeve cuffs are blue with white polka dots. But then he says he likes avocado toast.
He does say he likes avocado toast.
Come on.
And first of all, that nugget's bigger than an avocado.
It's like a small football.
It's a small football.
Or rugby ball.
Second of all, I don't like that he likes avocado toast. But
I don't know about where you're from, listener, but where we're from, avocado toast people are a certain kind of snob hippie, kind of. Or kind of a rube.
Some people might just like avocado toast.
I think it's one thing if you make it yourself. It's different if you purchase it somewhere.
I have no doubt that he absolutely makes it himself.
If he makes it himself, I'm less judgy about it.
The thing that I am upset about this episode happens right near the beginning. And what I'm upset is we don't have a 5-minute montage of it because I would have enjoyed it much more. And that is the quad bikes.
when Sims and Chalmers get on the quad bikes.
We need Sims and Chalmers riding the quad bikes through the hills of New Zealand.
Racing, jumping, running each other off the road. Is that
I
what
love
you wanted?
how everybody else is there. And Mike gets there, and there are no quad bikes involved.
No.
But the two of them are off on their quad bikes.
Well, it's far enough away that Jane rides a horse there.
Yes.
Her poor horse is tied to a tree, and she's dead.
Todd Taylor says he's in the great outdoors. That's a phrase that is wrought with controversy.
Oh, yeah?
You'd think it wasn't, but it's a manufactured term of the 30s of marketing people that is to instill in white people the notion that out of doors is theirs to explore.
Oh, not just, hey, you should get outside, but outside is yours. Go take it.
The great outdoors. Yeah. And so that's problematic to, I don't know, the people who were there before.
Maybe. They might be a little bitter about that.
You can't tell the difference between a Romney Marsh and a Hampshire Down. 2 sheep named for places in England.
Well, that's where they came from.
Yes.
Which is clearly indicative of how dumb Todd is, because one of them is a black-faced sheep and one of them is a white-faced sheep.
Yes.
Like, I could tell. I might not know what they are, but I could tell the difference between those 2 sheep.
Yes.
Though, I mean, I had to look them up. I'm not that intimate with sheep.
No. We had to look them up.
But I'm not working on a farm in New Zealand.
Well, this farm's interesting because we have to ride quad bikes to this location, and yet there's electricity for a record player. How is that possible? That's the longest extension cord ever. Don't run over it with your quad bike.
Hydro
Hydro-powered.
She's got a little water wheel down the creek.
So Sarah and I, right before the episode, made the mistake of trying to look up the difference between stream, creek, and river. Woo! Again, fraught with controversy.
A creek is smaller than a stream, but it's a kind of stream.
Yes.
And a stream is a small river.
To me, this is a creek that is sometimes a river.
I wouldn't even say that.
Yeah.
It's a creek.
Yeah.
You could jump over it most places, and you could definitely walk across it.
Mike's like, how could you get across it? And Sims is like, 6 kilometers that way. I'm like,
walk.
Hike up your
Take your
pants,
shoes
dude.
off and walk across.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had boots on, your feet wouldn't even get wet.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about gold panning.
Yes.
And maybe my view of it is Western United States biased.
Yes.
But my understanding of the reason you pan for gold, rather than mining, that's different, but panning for gold, is that gold is lighter than the rocks, the bottom of whatever body of moving water you're in. And by scooping up the sediment at the bottom of the water and shaking it, you see tiny bits of gold.
Yes.
Flecks, and you get them out. But the water has to be moving for those to be distributed like that. They're coming from like somewhere higher up.
Yes.
This water is not moving.
It's not moving.
It is the most stagnant creek I've ever seen. And Jane has been down there forever, every day, panning the same spot. She's got to be panning the same gravel over and over again.
And okay, the idea is this, that there was a nugget that was lost. And that
nugget never came from that water. I'm sorry. That is you mined it nugget. Don't you think?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Well, okay. It's something painted gold is what it is.
Yes.
But
like, if that showed up in your tray, you would notice it right away.
No, you'd have to shake it a little bit. Get the sand off of it. What's that there you got? A nugget. The size of my head.
It doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
The feud thing just doesn't make sense. Though, people with mining claims, going back in history, have often gotten quite the fights about them.
Yes.
Isn't there a Murdoch about that?
Yes, there is a Murdoch about that. And the thing that I like that the feud brings is the fine acting by Roy Billing. Roy Billing plays the dad.
The Holland dad in the wheelchair.
Holland dad.
Dan.
And he's been in a bunch of Australian and New Zealand things. I think he's originally from Tasmania.
He's a great actor. Looks kind of like a toad in the chair, though.
Kind of looks like a toad, but that's the kind of thing he plays. He was in a show called Underbelly, sorry, which is a great Australian
There's
crime
lots of different
show.
underbellies.
There's different time periods.
Yeah.
But he played Aussie Bob Trimble in one, and he was really good.
They just, you can keep that because it kind of captures what I'm feeling. I'm going to say this wrong, But there's like a stereotype of people who live on farms, no matter where they are in the world, that they're a bit trigger happy, a little too gun friendly.
And that,
and Dan whipping his rifle out to threaten Annie with the cop standing literally in front of him.
Yeah, like he's going to the pokey.
Like, what is wrong with you?
Like, my dad was a farmer through and through, 5th generation farmer. Absolute.
Did he have a rifle?
No, my brother had 2 guns that he kept in the house as kind of recreation things. And we had a lot of property. So what would happen is every year for deer season, every couple of years, there would be some guys who we knew were hunters would come to the house and ask my dad if they could hunt on our property. Because we had a whole bunch of property that had a whole bunch of animals on it. And sometimes he'd let them, and sometimes he'd say, oh, I'm doing something in the back, so I'd prefer you not do it this year or something like that. But I never saw my father with a gun.
These people take guns just
Absolutely.
to go down to Pan for Gold.
No.
Take your gun with you.
Because these other people are going to shoot you?
Apparently.
Okay. You need to get legal representation involved. And we know that there is legal representation in Brokenwood.
Wait a minute, though. There's a bigger hole than that. These other people, the Hollands, is Bill. Because Dan is in a wheelchair. He is not riding a horse down to the river to shoot you.
No, and Bill's stooping your daughter.
It's just Bill. So, though Annie thinks Jane should be armed all the time, I don't know why, Jane knows better because the only person who might shoot at her is Bill, and she's stooping Bill.
Yes.
So
Annie is
it's
there.
not a threat.
Annie is there to be frustrated and angry. That's all she
The older
does.
sibling doing all the work herself.
If I found out that my sister had been stooping somebody that she said she hated for 20 years, I would be incredibly upset, but not because I can't believe you're stooping him. I would be like, why didn't you just tell me? Like, why do you have to keep that secret from me?
Worse than that. Wait a minute. You mean this feud could have been over 20 years ago?
What the hell were you doing panning gold?
If we'd known this, we could have got along.
You didn't really go to that horse farm on the South Island. You were preggers.
You weren't at the gynecologist. You were doing mini trampoline jumping. What? Oh, you were at the Love Shack.
Okay.
Where there's another record player.
How does the power get to the Love Shack?
I'm telling you, the horse is out there walking on a treadmill.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe they hook it up to the battery of the quad bike.
The problem with driving quad bikes around here is you're going to run over all the extension cords.
It's a battery-operated record player. I'm sure they exist. They're probably made by Fisher-Price, but they probably exist. There's no way Jane hauled all that stuff that she's got down there on her horse that day. Like, that's her little camp down there.
She has a little camp and everything.
Like, there's milk jugs down there, like those big metal milk
and
jugs.
There's like a little tent thing.
It's just decoration.
Yeah, she is like a she shack down there.
She does. Never mind the Love Shack. She's got her she shack. And later, Missy has like surprise picnic, ta-da, underneath camo blanket. But she's got a vehicle anyway.
I guess.
That poor horse is carrying everything. We are so off the range here. Frodo's line dancing.
Okay. Things we have to talk about. Okay. Before we get to the gynecologist, because that's a whole scene and a half. We have to talk about drenching.
About what?
Drenching.
What's that?
So.
Is that a gynecologist thing?
No. So,
because I've never heard of that.
Sarah comes into the music room to find out what I'm doing. And on my screen, there's a picture of a guy forcibly inserting something into a sheep's mouth.
To be clear, the way you had the picture scrolled up on your monitor,
Yep.
I couldn't see the guy. I could just see the sheep's head and something being shoved down its throat. And I did not know what you were looking at.
And the headline wasn't there.
No.
The headline is Can New Zealand sheep farmers survive drench resistance? So the drenching is this anti-warming thing you have to do with sheep.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, I know I've talked about this before, but not enough people know about this. The care of animals
is
and
gross.
Their medical care is gross.
Go watch All Creatures Great and Small.
Yeah. Okay. and this is not
So
this is not factory farming.
No.
This is normal care of animals.
They have to give the sheep some kind of medication to prevent them from getting worms. And
because they're outside all day.
Right. And they're becoming resistant to it.
Yes.
Okay.
So this is what Annie is saying Jane isn't doing enough. I think Jane should be like, I gotta go down and pan gold, stoop.
If the other option is force feeding sheep medicine,
Yeah.
I think I'd rather be panning for gold.
Yeah, I think so too. So the gynecologist's office, when Mike walks out of the gynecologist's office, because what's her name?
Casey.
Casey uses it as
Her alibi.
her alibi because she doesn't think Mike will check,
Right.
which is
Immature.
So Mike just goes over to the gynecologist
To see if she had an appointment. Which they probably wouldn't tell him anyway. But anyway.
But as he's leaving,
He runs into Trudy. She's like, are you lost?
Trudy comes in, and the look on her face is like,
huh? Remember, this is an audio medium. People can't see the face you're making.
and
So
then
it was a powerful face.
And then she brings up the narco.
Well, I'm no narc at the gyno, but
Oh, can I name the episode No Narc at the Gyno?
no. You cannot name it that. You have to call it Drenching the Love Shack. Drench-resistant Love Shack. So Gina knows that Mike has a girlfriend now.
Yes.
Right? She's met Beth at the auction of women who were dumped by
Russian
brides who were dumped. So now she's like, I have to give Mike space. I don't want to be the other woman. So now all of a sudden she is okay with Sims.
And it's like Sim's best friend.
Yes.
It's like they're going to move in. Foreshadowing.
Yes, Gina ends up living at Sim's house. It's crazy. Anyway.
And the only better part of that is the resolution to that involves an odes.
Yes. Gina says that she can give Sims the time of death because of a secret having to do with fingernails, a rubber band, and the arc of the sun. In reality, it's rigor mortis.
Yes.
Right? And that's what she says. But what is the joke with the fingernails and the rubber band and the arc of the sun? What is that joke that she's making? I don't get it.
The only thing I could think of, it was like it's like a Boy Scout thing that if you're lost, you use the arc of the sun and a twig to find the shadow to find out which direction you're going.
And your fingernails?
Something? I don't.
Fingernails grow after you die? That's not true, by the way. She may as well have just said, it's a woman thing or something. I don't know. I can tell. It's rigor mortis is the bottom line.
So Casey, the idea is this.
McAlpine. Because Alpine's not a good enough last name. Let's put Mick on it. McAlpine. Which just makes me think of cow pie.
She was left at the altar.
Yes, by Sean. The scum-sucking clam.
And how do you know this about him? Because I stalk him on Facebook like a normal person.
I like that line. I cannot believe Casey's mom, Polly, keeps her wedding dress on a mannequin in the house.
And
that is cruel.
Jane says to Casey, he wasn't into you anyway. He was yarning on me, and it was just your mom. Like, it's a very short sentence. But, like, this Sean guy was not even into this.
No.
So I then don't blame clam sucking Sean
for getting out of there.
Yeah.
Well, especially now that he dances in a men's review.
No, that's the other boyfriend.
Oh, that's Twerk.
Tiny Twerk. What's his first name? Heine McTwerk.
No, his name's not Heine McTwerk. His name is Wyatt Twerk.
Wyatt. So this is supposedly Jane's boyfriend.
He's the male review version of Wyatt Earp.
The nominal determinism of twerk.
Yes. Polly is really well written. She rubs you the wrong way from the moment she speaks to Mike at Frodo's coffee cart.
Oh my gosh.
Like she opens her mouth and you dislike her.
And
yet she's smiling and nice and pretty and cordial and yet just despicable.
she's just horrific. And Frodo is the exact opposite.
Yes.
He's delusional but helpful.
Yes.
And I feel bad for Frodes because I think Frodes knows, right, that Jane's not his girlfriend.
That they were never a thing. That they went to a dance together in high school and that was it.
But I think Frodes is swayed by the notions of what he's supposed to be.
I think he thinks it's impressive to other people to claim that somebody like Jane went out on a date with him.
Yes.
It makes him feel better about himself.
Yes.
But when confronted with, so are you the father of her baby? No. He always tells the truth.
Yes. And I think I wish for happiness for Frodes.
Yep.
I do.
Well, his not girlfriend, Bingo,
Yeah.
has moved to the big city now. So
Yes. So maybe
what did you think of the feed and grain store where Casey works?
it was unlike any feed and grain store I'd ever been in.
How so?
It didn't have the smell of the feed and grain store, which
You can't smell on TV.
if you've been in any actual feed and grain store, you smell it. It is also not populated by old white men because that's the feed store.
They were inside.
Yes.
What did you think about the specials sign out front?
What did the special sign? Oh, there was,
It's a banner that's supposed to look like a chalkboard that's got a list of things that are on sale
yeah.
that are a mix of vegetables and
that's right.
animal food.
Yes, that's right.
It's like brown onions, chicken pellets,
Yeah.
all on sale. Free range mule feed. I don't know. It's somebody like Googled like what are feed and grain store specials? Okay, just use those.
Now, I know that you've talked about Chalmers' shirt. Mm-hmm. And I know you've talked about Chalmers' diet. And we've talked about Chalmers on the quad bike. Mm-hmm. But we really need to talk about the drink that will forever now be known as the Chalmers.
Yes, a Fanta and Malibu.
Xander created that drink.
One of our children.
One of our children. That is a drink he would drink.
I actually think it sounds good.
You do?
Yeah, I would totally drink
Isn't
that.
it coconut rum?
Yeah.
Oh,
I like
orange
that.
and coconut? Of
Yeah.
course, me. Anything in coconut is... bleh.
Yeah. But you like a fruity girly drink.
I do like a fruity
I know you don't
girly
like
drink.
coconut, but if it wasn't coconut Malibu,
There's a code?
I like that Chalmers starts to pick up on Gina and Sims's new relationship
Yes.
and says they're like Thelma and Louise. And she's like, yeah, but they drove off a cliff. And he goes, but they were holding hands.
Chalmers with the movie reference.
Yeah. He's so little brother. Except, okay, Chalmers is a good policeman, but he commits a mortal sin
Uh-oh.
when he picks up that gun.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. What is he doing? At least Mike knows to put a glove on top of his hand to pick up the gun.
Not only does he pick it up, he picks it up
And he
touches
looks
the
at the
trigger.
barrel.
He's got to check to make sure it's not loaded. Yeah. But even Frodo has a hanky.
Yeah.
It's gross, but he's got one. Like, pick it up with something to check it. He's just like, let me touch it wherever the killer might have touched it. Here. I'm going to spit shine this part. Put some more DNA on it.
So now, faithful listeners, if you know us, you know we have 4 children, 1 in Seattle, 1 in Indianapolis, 2 live at home who are gainfully unemployed right now, currently.
They're doing volunteer work.
They're doing volunteer work. We're going about this getting a job thing in the wrong way.
Oh, yeah?
We should have them cry on a dock.
Well, if you're a cute 16-year-old and Frodo comes along, that's how you get a job.
Okay. She can't make coffee, but she makes tea really well.
Though, I do have to tell you guys, this is the greatest mom coup ever.
Okay.
They do have jobs.
Yes, they do.
They are newly employed at Spirit Halloween.
As seasonal workers, it's fantastic.
Where I will be getting a discount.
Discount!
Do I get the 2 kids work here double discount?
You should.
I should.
I could get the store now.
So the girl crying on the dock is Maud, who is Jane's daughter, who she put up for adoption when she was supposed to be working on a sheep farm.
Did you notice that when Sims goes to talk to Annie, I know we're bouncing all over the place, but that doesn't matter. When Sims goes to talk to Annie, she makes her coffee.
No, I didn't notice that.
You didn't notice because Annie doesn't drink a single sip of it.
Does Annie know about Maud? Does she know that Jane had a daughter and gave her up?
No.
So Jane kept that totally to herself.
Totally to herself.
Bill never knew. Nobody knew.
I think Jane's mom and her boyfriend's mom took off together, Thelma and Louise style, holding hands, because the moms are non-existent in this story.
Well, Jane and Annie's mom's dead, but
supposedly,
Wyatt Twerk's mom could have run off with Bill's mom. She cries to the point I worry about her hydration levels. Frodo's so funny.
Frodo, grief counselor.
He's so nice, though.
Frodo is awesome.
She's crying, and he's like, have a dirty hanky.
Can I help you?
And lets her try to make coffee.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's hitting on her or anything.
No.
She's young, and
I think
he just feels bad for her.
I think he feels bad for her and needs somebody to work at the shop.
Over and over in my notes, it says, can we slap Polly? Can we slap her now? Can Polly be hit at this point?
So then we have the secret undershow, which is Canadian musician Tammy Nielsen. So the record that they both share.
Who is the music for Brokenwood all the time.
Yes. Well, you know why she's the music for Brokenwood all the time?
No.
Because her brother does the music for the show. Her brother and her moved to New Zealand together. I think she moved there to be with her future husband. Mm. And
she's a great singer.
Yes.
And she's got a style.
Yes. And she was part of the Nielsen's, which is a well-known Canadian country music family.
Ah.
So that's why she's in this episode. And I think I don't mind it at all. I don't think it's shoehorned in or anything like that. I think it
works.
It ends fantastically. And Trudy gets the line of the episode. Don't you think?
Come on, weirdos.
Come on, weirdos.
Why does Jane put Bill's love letters in a box and bury it?
That's what powers the record player.
Underground power lines from Bill's love letters in a box. Like, doesn't she have a room where she can put things?
I would think.
Why couldn't she keep them at the Love Shack?
Why does she still live on the farm? Like they're like, we should.
It's
go
like they're
away.
trapped. Why are they trapped?
Like
just leave.
We should go away together, like normal people.
They're like 36.
Yeah.
Just go.
Yeah.
Take the nugget and go. Oh no, the nugget would be, worth something. I'll just throw it in the water. Cash that baby in and get out.
Yeah, definitely. And we haven't even talked about Chalmers Missy. I
can't tell whether there's supposed to be like romantic tension between them or like sibling tension. But she's awesome.
I think she's fantastic. I think it's supposed to be romantic tension. She's in 2 other episodes.
Yeah.
So she's meant to be
she's a really good actress.
She's meant to be a red herring here, but she is certainly an interest for Chalmers.
It's too small of a town for her to live there and them not ever have run into each other. I don't understand how that's supposed to work.
I agree.
But I love the way she stands up to him. Are you going to arrest me for this? For that? For this? No? Okay, then I'm going.
Yeah, she's totally...
You want a fritter?
Yeah. Where did he get the... I'm a little obsessed with power in this episode.
Well, she's got a butane burner there.
Yeah, but still.
Or propane or something like that. She came
prepared.
prepared.
A portable kitchen or something?
Yeah, she does.
I guess.
She brings her own butter. I have known many a fisherman who bring everything they need to start a campfire and fillet fish that they catch and bread them and fry them right there.
I guess that's true.
It's good. They didn't make fritters, but it was good.
So we find out that Annie has We find out that Casey has an addiction, a gambling addiction.
Mm-hmm.
And there are clues laid in the episode, and they go over them, and they're very nice.
Yeah, like the fact that she owes Trudy money
Yes.
at the bar.
What I like is her friend on the creek side says, I'll do anything to get you help.
Anything that's mine is yours, whatever you need.
Including, let's go to a meeting.
Yeah.
That is how you react when your friend
Not.
or loved
You're
one.
getting too old to have babies. Have a wedding dress. Marry the first person you see.
Yeah, like
Polly.
The difference between Polly and Jane in the reaction to the addiction it's so weird. I also think in a total meta way, I was like, gambling addiction is the perfect metaphor because say she was addicted to smack or cocaine. Mm-hmm. That's a hard drug and a hard thing to deal with in the nutmeg villa of Brokenwood.
Yes.
But gambling, that's something that
you can just do on your phone.
Yeah, it makes it so easy to understand.
Yeah.
It's a good tool to make a sympathetic person who has an addiction.
Mm-hmm. Though when they confront Casey and Polly together and Casey admits that she has an addiction, and before you know that, it's weird that she says, and this is Donna, my support person. Like,
yes.
Why do you have a support person?
I have a note here that says, why do you have Donna, the support person?
Donna's her sponsor.
Yes. And then she says, then Mike says, while you were down by the river killing Jane. And Sims is like, what?
Didn't you see her shoe? Duh. Polly's so dense, she doesn't even notice she's got a shotgun shell wedged in her.
Would you not notice that right away?
It would be so uncomfortable.
It would be incredibly uncomfortable.
How do you feel about line dancing?
What's in the box?
Power.
Yes, power is in the box. I am no fan of doing anything in unison.
Why?
Because both Nazis and Michael Jackson videos have it. I just don't like groups doing things in unison.
Were you beaten by a marching band as a child or something?
No.
Is it your anti-joiner DNA there?
Maybe. I just don't like it. I don't like large groups of people moving in unison. Sorry.
Mark was traumatized as a parade and as a child.
No. Yes.
The parade chased me down the street. Ah! I have been line dancing, and it was fun if you know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you feel kind of accomplished. Like, I'm keeping up.
I can understand all that, but it's country music aerobics is what it is.
It is. But it does the opposite of how you feel about people doing things in unison. When you are one of those people, you feel part of something, and that's kind of fun. Especially when it involves like stomping and stuff. You know, it's fun.
Yep.
Would I do it now? No.
I wish.
But it was fun when we did it.
I wish Chalmers and Sims had joined in.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
They look like sorry sports for being so like unwilling to give it a try. But I'm glad Beth shows up with a fringy shirt on.
Beth.
And grabs Gina like, come on.
There's two things I love about Beth in this episode. The first thing is Mike's phone rings and he says he's got to go. And she is, I know what it's like.
Yep.
I know what I'm in for.
Yep.
Go. It's your job. You don't have to apologize.
She doesn't
every
pull
time.
a Joyce.
No.
We were in the middle of something.
She is absolutely understanding.
Yep.
Then she shows up, grabs Gina's hand, and is like,
let's go, sister.
What's doing this?
Yeah. Weirdos.
Yep.
Trudy knows where the money's at, though.
Yeah.
She's going to suck up the fact that they're weirdos because they buy drinks.
Trudy's all about the money.
But she hates line dancing, Nick.
She so does. Trudy is classic rock all the way, I would think.
I would say so too.
Yeah.
If she even deigns to listen to music. I don't know. She might be kind of a Wagner, moody,
Maybe.
brooding music. Maybe it's 9 Inch Nails all day. Rob Zombie.
Well,
that is good as gold.
Next, we have. Well, before we do next, we should do after the show, after the episode, because we do have an implication of after the episode.
Yeah.
Which is that Maud and her father are reunited and form an actual relationship.
Is Bill her dad?
Yes.
For sure.
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't totally clear on that.
If she's so in love with him to keep quiet for 20 years and not like oh, I know I'll have sex with you, but we shouldn't go out in public. She obviously loved him.
If Bill is definitely Maud's dad, Jane was a bad person because she never told him.
How do you keep a secret like that for 20 years from someone you love?
Especially if it was their child too.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah. Like, I wish there was a moment where Mom and Dad made me do this or something. Because she was 16.
She should have still told him all this time and she never admitted it. You have a child out there.
Again.
Jane just doesn't have control over her own life.
Yeah.
Like the fact that she wants to keep Maud a secret. Like, what do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Just go tell your sister that you have a daughter.
Yeah.
What is she going to do?
Be angry about sheep?
Kick you off the farm? Okay. I'm out of here.
I'm going to leave with my new daughter and husband.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Wiener. Casey's going to be all right.
I also
Polly's going to run the prison.
I also suffer from the notion that it's foreign to me that people want to stay on the farm.
I know. Polly is going to go to that Brokenwood women's jail and run the place. She's going to be doing etiquette classes and I don't know, poise classes.
Is she going to have the wedding dress on the mannequin in her cell?
No.
No.
Casey's going to burn it as soon as they put her away.
I hope so.
What about Annie?
Annie's in a tough spot because, like, she was obviously depending on Jane to help her with the farm. Because
one person cannot do it.
It's difficult to run a farm.
They have horses. They have sheep.
And Todd is no help.
No. Jock should go to a home.
Yes.
And get the care that he needs. And Annie should get a reliable partner, like a business partner, to run the farm.
Yeah.
Or sell it.
If
she doesn't want to do it.
Yes.
The end.
Yeah. I totally agree. I've seen too many people trapped by farms.
Yeah.
It just hurt.
By tradition.
I hate it.
Yeah.
When you get through the notion that tradition is
it's been in our family.
Is dead people telling you what to do.
Yeah.
You lose a value in tradition.
Yeah. You get over it. All right. What's season 8, episode 6?
4 fires and a funeral. And it starts with volunteer firemen. Well, I think they might be actual firemen, but they may be also volunteers because Dr. Murder Magnet is one of the people who
the psychiatrist
goes to help with the fire, the emergency.
He would join the volunteer firefighters just so he could be around burly men because that's what he's like, even though he's with the Rev.
I understand that, but there are no burly men as far as I saw in this firefighting.
Oh, there's no sexy firefighters.
No,
that's right.
The next episode started already. So, like, when I was watching this one, so I was like, oh, what is the doctor doing there? Oh, somebody died.
Of course. Yeah. He is a murder magnet.
And so this is a play on 4 weddings and a funeral.
Yes.
Just the way the Midsummer episode 4 funerals and a wedding is a play on that.
Right.
Which is like, is almost the notion that 4 weddings and a funeral, the great movie, it's a fantastic movie, is this egg that everything came from.
Yeah.
And when you watch it, it kind of is.
Yeah.
Because remember.
Because everybody's in it.
Everyone is in it, including Rowan Atkins as the vicar.
Mr. Bean is the vicar.
Which is fantastic. The notion of duckface comes from that movie.
Yes.
A notion that is fundamental to our podcast. This magical thing that if you haven't seen that movie, you should see that movie.
It's also just a handy title.
Yeah, it's a handy title.
It's better than, you know, 2 Murders, 1 Cup or something.
Well, I think that I think that all these people who wrote this were about the age that they would love that movie when it came out.
Yeah, I agree. So that'll be out in 2 weeks. Since we're going every other week until the end of October. So until then, bye, Maniacs.
Bye, Maniacs. Thanks for joining us on the Mystery Maniacs podcast. If you enjoyed our crazy podcast today, don't miss out on future episodes. Follow us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive sneak peeks. Subscribe, like, and share to spread the word. Bye, Maniacs. Yeah, it was.
We're nosy old people now.
Yes, we are.
Sorry, we were just noticing some dude on the street doing weird things.
Yep.
Anyway.
Back to the show.